Oh, look, you can't dance bad if you try. That's good. I can't dance well if I try.
Come on. That's not true. I've seen you dance. I've seen you dance, you know, with friends.
Yeah, that's right. Not on the show.
The Forgiven.
Don't give me choreography.
Here's a better scene. Do you want to talk about it? I remember this so great.
Sarah.
The smell.
It was just another village to conquer. Nothing out of the ordinary. Fire broke out. And I don't know if it was one of my men or just an accident, but there was a strong wind and those flames just swept through that town like a wave of death. The people were huddled in their houses because they were afraid of my army. That was one time when my army was...
You know what's horrifying about this as you watch it all those years ago, doing that scene, and then knowing how the series ends, and you go, wow, how many villages did she burn to the ground? How many, you know, souls is she responsible for? And of course, those things were written with no
idea of what
prescience of what
absolutely
would be written, not from, you know, the producers or the writers' point of views, but just kind of evolved. But it's kind of shocking to see these and
how
you go,
bad
no wonder, because all the fans who watched it
Oh.
had put all those pieces together and were filling in the blanks the whole time, and we were just kind of
trying
running
to
keep up and produce stories. But yeah, no wonder people took things so personally.
I often wondered after this scene what you had experienced that made you connect with that so strongly, because it's not a dialogue that you can just say, you know, without understanding that experience.
No, it was a Holocaust thing. Because I don't know where he got the idea about the smell, but the smell is such an evocative sense too. And there must have been this terrible smell about human beings burning, you know, and nobody ever talks about that. But perhaps I'd heard a Holocaust survivor mention it, or I don't know where I got that from, but it was specifically a Holocaust reference in my mind when that was the image I was using. Yeah.
Jeez.
And the thing about doing a scene where you've got, and if you're drawing on something like the Holocaust, you really got to keep a lid on it, don't you? So tight, because otherwise you're going to go and blub all over the place and not finish the scene and not serve the characters. And
but you know what's interesting about this show is that because the reality is not close to home, you know, it's not something you experience every day, so you had to find heightened aspects of your life or history to draw on, just to find a way to connect with these what these people are going through.
Yeah, to try to make it real, that you're talking about cutting people's heads off and
you know, and that thousands of people are dying, you know.
Yeah. Of course, since September 11, that's become all too real.
That everybody can understand that. But before that, how do you know, because our generation hasn't lived through a huge war like that.
Right.
To try to find those things to make it real.
Somebody has to say no to this lust for revenge.
That is so hard to do.
You did it. When your village was destroyed, you were infected with bloodlust, but you overcame it.
I was lucky. I saw what I'd become, and I was able to turn it around. But if something happened to Mother or Hercules, you, like me, I might do just the same.
That's a first.
I forgot that Hercules was such a player.
Right.
Early on, because
he was one of your
after the
best
second
friends.
season, you know, you kind of never gave him another thought. But that's
but he was more important than Gabrielle.
Love and forgiveness.
You're changing, Gabrielle. I like you just the way you are. Get some sleep.
No. No, you promised me.
I promise.
I was naive, though. I mean, I fit right into
It's a
that.
scream. But you see,
Boy.
if we had done that in the last season,
We would have just.
it would have been cut. Yeah, you would have laughed.
I would have
We
laughed.
wouldn't have held it together. We would have just
No.
gone. Ah!
Yeah.
But,
it was-
that was really unexpected to see that in the final cut.
Yeah, but we came from two different places within the characters, you know. I was naive about the whole world view, and you
Right.
had a obviously different idea. Reality. That was funny, though. The other thing about this, which was interesting, it was the first time that, wasn't it TJ that was directing this? I believe so. Because he
Callisto.
it was TJ then. Pretty sure. Yeah, I think so. Anyway,
I think he did Return of Callisto
I think he did this.
when she goes down the.
You know why? I remember
Sand
because
hole.
the fire. They put the fire right in front of the camera, and it was both on a dolly, so they're moving back and forth, which is very unusual. We'd never done that before, and I
Not
thought,
a Mike Levine thing.
might have been.
Oh, anyway.
Anyway, it was just really interesting that the production value to me just went up a notch again. That suddenly it had this feature film quality that they were putting together these shots that
So
were
you
so
would notice a
elaborate.
thing like that.
I thought it was interesting.
What's happening?
That's nice, though. That was nice.
It's fine.
Doctor?
She's dead.
Andrew Benz.
She is not dead. I wouldn't let her. Come on, Gabrielle, wake up. Come on, wake up. Come on, wake up. You're scaring me. Wake up. Wake up. Gabrielle, breathe. Come on. Come on, breathe. Breathe. Maybe she just needs air. I need to get some air in her lungs. Come on, breathe!
Xena, stop it. She's dead now. She's in a much better place.
Get out of my way! You don't know anything! Don't you listen to him. Come on, I know you're in there. Prove it. You can show him. Come on. Wake up and breathe. You never ran from anything in your whole life. Come on, fight!
Xena.
Fight!
Xena! It's time to stop.
Who would have thought?
Was
Yeah.
this the third season?
It's the first season, the end of the first. Second? The end of the first.
End of the first.
Yeah. It was really the first time that you showed how much you loved Gabrielle. In that way, don't you think?
I don't know if it was the first time, but yeah, this
That
is
it
this
came
was a
through
major
so
one.
raw.
And I remember this was like the third take. TJ
really?
always said Lucy's the third take girl.
Really?
Yeah, and so, and as the takes go on, you get more kind of desperate in a way because
You don't know if you,
you
can
don't know
do it
what.
again.
Yeah, you don't know if you can do it again. You don't know exactly what they want, why they're going again, and how can you. So you
Yeah.
can only sort of surrender to that.
And it would be just like TJ to push you just a little bit further.
Yeah,
We're gonna do it again.
Um,
and I
and this
remember,
terrified me. This really exhilarating to when you read the script and you go, "Whoa, this is going to be a
How do
biggie
I do
to
this
pull,
scene?
to pull off properly." But
I remember you wondering if Xena should cry. Do you remember that? We were talking about it. We must have been talking about it sometime before the scene, and you were wondering because she's so stoic and she's seen such, you know, horrible events in her life, the
Right.
death, and would
Right,
she be
right,
that
right, right,
connected
right.
to one little girl? Would she be
Right.
that heartfelt about the death of one girl as opposed to all these other people that she had
Right.
passed through her life? And I remember that so.
but you would the strongest choice is to say yes and
Yeah.
to just
To
go
love.
with it.
Yeah.
It's given to love.
Given to love.
Okay. It was a good scene. I was
a
always
great
really
scene.
proud of this. And grateful
You know
for
what
it.
was weird about this later? I think it was the 5th season. They were digitizing us for the flying of the fallen angels, and they were trying to digitize your face. And they chose this scene of all scenes. I happened to see it for some reason in the makeup trailer, and it was your face saying, "No, live." But it wasn't your face. It was this like metallic cover of a robot trying to talk.
Oh.
I found it so disconcerting because it was your voice and yet this robot saying, you know, it was just wrong. I thought, you know, they just cannot replace human emotion and human feelings because
not yet.
it was wrong.